Hey everybody, Jedi Jack Luther here, and normally it would be time for what's in the box, but I haven't gotten a box yet. However, I did want to do an update. I want to show off something that I had recently gotten about a few weeks ago and been working to complete it, and it's right here in front of me. You can't miss it. It is 1982 Kenner vintage Imperial Walker from The Empire Strikes Back. And I can't tell you, I really am happy to have this. As a kid, I really wanted this piece, but being expensive like they were back in the 80s, by 80 standards, my mom was only going to get like maybe one big ship, and that was the Rebel transport I got for Christmas of 82. So this was always in my heart, but it just never happened. So about a few weeks ago, I was at the local toy, Cro-Mag toy store here. They had gotten this in, and it was missing a few pieces. It was missing this top cover hatch here, and the chin guns were gone. I got it for $50, which was a really good bargain, because getting these vintage and in decent shape is very hard to do sometimes. These were played with. These went outdoors, especially if you were a kid and you lived in up north far enough that you got a lot of snow during the winter. You put these things out in the snow, and that's how you played with them. That's how I would have played with it, because living in New York at the time, I would have had plenty of snow to do that. So I got it for $50, and I picked up the pieces here and there. I had and got everything up here working. The battery box in here was highly corroded, very corroded. It took a lot of work and it still didn't work right. What I had done is I disassembled all of this and cleaned the inside, because the corrosion had left that acid smell inside the container of this monster. So everything got clean, washed, disinfected. It's all good. When the head was separated, I tested the wires with some batteries, and the motor still worked, and the light bulb, which lights up the guns, still worked. And I was very happy, because I don't know if I could have fixed that part. So got some little bit of elbow grease and everything like that, and we got them back up and working. Let me pop this. There we go. And of course, I'm going to turn this a bit, and I'm doing this on the other side. Let me hold the head up. And there we go. Bam! Take that, Rebel Vandal. And she works. I was very impressed. The hatch cover, I'll lift that up. And yes, I did get a vintage. I picked me up a vintage AT-AT driver. I had to have one. I never had one before, because I've never had the vehicle before. The hatch cover is vintage, but the chin guns, you're probably saying, wow, those are pretty clean chin guns. Yes, these are actually reproductions. I cannot afford chin guns that are vintage. On eBay, just one gun roughly sells for about $40. I saw a pair the other day that went for $60. I don't have that kind of money to fix all this up, so I went with replicas that were roughly about $16 for the pair. They're cast in plastic, they're very clean looking, and they do the job that I need them to do, which is to be there so that when you activate the gun feature, that's what the motor does. So, no, she's not 100% vintage, but that's okay. My Dagobah that I have up there is not 100% vintage, but of course, everyone's quicksand deteriorated on them, so you're not really going to find, if you find one with original quicksand, there ain't much left of it. It's all begin to decompose on you. But I wanted to do a quick little thing on this one just to show this piece off. I'm very, very happy with it. It's very nice. The legs are really sturdy on here. They're in place well. These knee joints are very tight. They're not loose at all. And you really have to pop them to get them to click. I'm trying to be very careful with that because I don't want to break it, because Lord knows how much a leg is going to cost me. But I got her up and working. She probably needs some newer decals on, but that's a project for later on. That is something I can finish, you know, unlike the Falcon, which relies on a lot of decals to tell the story, so to speak. The Walker doesn't need them. The inside the cockpit, you can't see it on here, but inside the cockpit, the original control panel sticker is all in there, and it's still in great shape, and that's enough for that. The other stickers were just random bits and pieces on the creature itself. And like I said, that's a project for later on. The cheek guns were on this, and it's still intact as well. So that was the piece I didn't have to worry about, because normally those you will find missing quite a bit. They're broken off, and you either have to pull out everything and put a new gun on there, or just find a new gun, but I didn't have to do that. So it didn't take a lot of pieces to complete it, but the money I had to put into these things, this hatch cover is not cheap. If you need a hatch cover, this was approximately $41 for this hatch cover. I've seen them as much as $55. So, and they're our most common piece missing, because this thing will pop off pretty easily if you're not careful, and then it gets lost. So for what's in the box, today we're showing off this vintage Imperial Walker. She's a beaut. I just can't tell you how much I love this. Really great toy, and is a great piece of my vintage collection. Hopefully, we will be getting some boxes in at some point, and we can get what's in the box back up there. As a side note, I want to say that just the other day, I noticed I have up to 20 subscribers for what's in the box. I'm so happy. So if you've subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for having to. I thought, man, if I had 3 people, I'd be lucky. But I'm up to 20. I can't believe that. That's great. So if you've subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for just clicking that subscribe button. You never know what I'm going to put on here, or what I'm going to review, or even better, you never know what's in the box. So I will see you next time when hopefully I get something in, we can open it up, and we can answer that very important question that's on everyone's mind nowadays, because you even see it on the news: what's in the box?